All right, let's talk about the future of something we see every single day, but probably don't think about much. Concrete. I mean, it's literally the foundation of our world, but it has a breaking point. So what are we going to do to fix it? Let's dive in. Think about it. The structures we depend on, our homes, our bridges, our highways, they all face some really serious challenges. The very material that's supposed to give us strength and shelter, well, it has a fundamental weakness. Okay, so let's get right to the core of the issue. You see, normal concrete is amazing when you push down on it. That's called compression. But the moment you try to pull it or bend it, it cracks. And that's where all the trouble starts. I mean, our infrastructure is getting old. Our bridges and roads are under constant stress, day in and day out. This makes them super vulnerable, especially to things like earthquakes, which can be just catastrophic. And that endless cycle of patching things up and replacing them, it doesn't just cost a fortune, it's also got a pretty heavy environmental footprint. But what if we could give concrete a superpower? This is where things get really interesting, because an incredible innovation is changing the material from the inside out. It's called fiber reinforced concrete, or FRC for short. And the concept, it's actually super simple, but totally revolutionary. You just mix these tiny, high-strength fibers right into the concrete. What you get is this internal microscopic web that holds everything together, stopping tiny little cracks from ever becoming big, dangerous problems. And the difference is just stark. We are not talking about some small, tiny improvement here. Regular concrete is brittle, it snaps, but FRC is ductile, it actually bends. So you go from something that's prone to cracking to something that's crack-resistant. That means way better durability and a much, much longer life. It's a complete fundamental upgrade. So how does this actually work in the real world? Well, this innovation is helping build a safer environment for all of us, especially in the places where it really truly matters the most. So get this, the research points to some seriously powerful ways to strengthen buildings that are already standing. You can wrap critical columns in these jackets of ultra-high-performance FRC. That's like the super soldier version of this stuff to help them carry more weight. You can even repair damaged beams using concrete that's filled with fibers made from old, recycled tires. How cool is that? Or you can add FRC covers to help a building ride out the shaking from an earthquake. And when an earthquake hits, the impact is just huge. A normal structure, well, it might just fail completely. But an FRC retrofitted structure can absorb so much more of that energy. It can actually bend and flex without breaking, and that can be the difference between a building that's still standing and one that's a pile of rubble. And hey, don't just take my word for it. The research totally confirms this. Study after study shows that these FRC retrofits dramatically improve a building's ability to handle an earthquake. And that means safer buildings, and of course, safer communities for all of us. But this incredible tech isn't just for buildings. Nope, it's also completely revolutionizing the roads and bridges we all travel on every single day. By putting FRC into our infrastructure, we can build stuff that can handle the constant stress from traffic, weather, and just time itself. We're talking about everything, from the surface of a bridge to the barriers on the highway, all of it made tougher and way more durable. So the bottom line is this. Because FRC is so good at controlling cracks and spreading out weight, it leads to infrastructure that lasts so much longer. And what does that mean for you and me? Fewer potholes, fewer road closures, and a huge reduction in that constant expensive cycle of repairs. Okay, but here's what might be the most exciting part of this whole story. It's how all this strength is connected to sustainability. This isn't just about building better, it's about building smarter. You see, this is all about intelligently reusing what we already have. Those fibers that give the concrete its superpower, they can come from old discarded tires. We can use waste sand and recycled chunks of old concrete right in the mix. We're literally turning trash into a high-performance building material. And this creates this amazing, virtuous cycle. It's a positive feedback loop, right? First, you use waste to make stronger concrete. Then, that stronger concrete lasts way longer, which means you're doing fewer repairs and replacements. And that, in turn, creates less waste in the future and uses up fewer new resources. It just keeps getting better. And that's the big takeaway. That's why this matters so much. Stronger concrete is greener concrete. By making our cities and roads more resilient, we're also making them more sustainable. It's a total win-win for our communities and for the planet. It's a pretty powerful question to end on, isn't it? And from everything we're seeing, the answer seems to be a resounding yes.
This really points to a future where our waste, our old tires, our leftover sand, doesn't just end up in a landfill. Instead, it becomes the very foundation of our strength.